Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn Chapter 5 Rural Administration. In this chapter we will understand how villages are managed and how the government works in rural areas. We will also learn about the important officers who help the villagers by maintaining land records, solving land disputes, and looking after the basic needs of the village. So let us begin and explore how rural administration helps in the smooth functioning of village life. Rural administration is needed because India has more than 6 lakh villages, and managing them is a big task. The government must provide basic facilities like water, electricity, and roads. It also has to maintain land records, since land is the main source of living for many villagers. Also, disputes and conflicts, especially related to land, must be handled properly. So, a large government system works to keep village life organized and peaceful. Mohan lived in a village and noticed that his neighbor Raghu had shifted the boundary bund to take extra land. Mohan questioned him, but an argument started and Mohan got injured. After this, Mohan and some villagers went to the police station to report the matter. This story shows that land disputes are common in villages and need proper rural administration to solve them. Mohan was not confident to fight Raghu because Raghu's family was rich and powerful and owned many fields. Also, Raghu's uncle was the Sarpanch, so Raghu had strong support in the village. Mohan was angry but also frightened because of their influence. Still, he gathered courage and went to question Raghu. This shows that people often hesitate to speak against powerful persons in villages. Mohan went to question Raghu about the boundary bund. Raghu denied moving it, and an argument started. Soon Raghu's helper began shouting, and the situation turned violent. Mohan was beaten badly on his head and hand. Neighbors rushed in and rescued him. This shows that land disputes can become serious, so proper rural administration is important. After Mohan was injured, his friend suggested going to the police station. Some villagers said it was a waste of time because Raghu was powerful and might influence the police. But Mohan did not want to stay silent. So, he decided to report the case and went with neighbors who had seen the incident as witnesses. This shows that even when people feel afraid, reporting is important to get justice. Each police station controls a fixed area and is responsible for maintaining law and order there. People can report problems like theft, accidents, injuries, fights, or crimes. After a complaint, the police must inquire and investigate. A case must be registered in the police station of that area only. For example, if something happens in a village under Kasampur police station, the complaint must be filed there. This system helps the police work in an organized way. Mohan went to the police station and met the SHO. He explained the incident and wanted to give a written complaint. But the SHO behaved rudely and said he had no time for small complaints. Even after Mohan showed his injuries, the officer did not take him seriously. This shows that people sometimes face problems even when they go to the police, so rules and proper procedures are important. Mohan was upset because the police were not recording his complaint. So, he brought his neighbors who had seen the incident. They told the SHO that Mohan was beaten and insisted the case must be registered. Finally, the officer agreed and asked Mohan to write the complaint. This shows that support from others can help a person get justice, especially in village disputes. Land records are very important in rural areas because many disputes happen over land boundaries. These disputes can be solved peacefully if proper records are available. The Patwari is responsible for measuring land and maintaining records. He is called by different names in different states like Lekbal, Kanungo, Karamkari, or village officer. Usually, one Patwari looks after a group of villages and regularly updates records to keep land ownership clear. When there is a boundary dispute, the Patwari visits the fields and measures the land properly, often using a measuring chain. Then he compares the measurements with the village map and official land records. If they do not match, it shows the boundary may have been changed. So the Patwari helps solve disputes by measuring land and checking records. The Patwari's work is not only measuring land, he also helps in collecting land revenue, gives crop information to the government for agriculture planning, updates village records regularly, crop changes, new wells, etc. So the Patwari plays an important role in village records and rural administration. A Khasra record, land register, shows which plot belongs to whom in a village. It gives full details of each field and matches it with the village map. It includes plot number, owner's name, area of land, crops grown, remarks like well, canal, tube well. So the COSRA record helps keep land details clear and makes solving land disputes easier. A COSRA record gives complete details of a piece of land, such as area of land in hectares, owner's name with father/husband's name and address, rent details, if land is given to another farmer, crops grown in that year, first crop, second crop, or fallow land, nearby facilities like wells, roads, grazing land, and trees. So the COSRA record helps keep land information clear and updated. In rural areas, land record work is managed by the Revenue Department. Patwari works at the village level and maintains land records. His work is supervised by the Tahsildar at the Tahsil/Taluka level. At the district level, the district collector is the main officer for land and revenue work. So the system works like a chain. District collector Tahsildar Patwari. Together they manage land records and revenue in rural areas. A Tahsildar is an important revenue officer at the Tahsil level. He hears land disputes and helps solve them. He supervises Patwaris and checks land records. He ensures proper collection of land revenue. He provides copies of land records to farmers. He also issues documents like caste certificates, useful for students. So, the Tahsildar's office is important for land matters and many village services. Now let us understand an important right that farmers have in rural administration. Farmers often need a copy of their land record along with the map. They may need it for many reasons like loans, selling land, or solving disputes. Farmers have a right to get this information from the government. In many cases, they may have to pay a small fee to get the copy. However, sometimes these records are not easily available, and farmers may face problems in getting them on time. To solve this issue, in some states, land records are being computerized. These records are often kept in the panchayat office, so that farmers can access them more easily. So, land records are not only important for the government, but they are also very important for farmers. Farmers often need copies of land records and maps for loans, selling land, or solving disputes. They have the right to get these records from the government, usually by paying a small fee. Sometimes records are not easily available, so in some states they are being computerized and kept in the panchayat office for easier access. So land records are very important for farmers and rural administration. Land records are important documents for farmers. They are needed in real life for buying land to confirm the real owner, getting bank loans, as proof for loans like digging a well, dividing property, to clearly share land among children. So land records are necessary for land ownership in rural administration. Earlier, in many villages, women worked on farms but were not treated as land owners. In some states, daughters and mothers did not get an equal share in agricultural land, and property was mostly divided among sons. But in 2005 the law changed. Now sons, daughters, and mothers can get an equal share in land and property. This law applies to all states and union territories in India. So this law became an important step towards equal rights for women in rural areas. Sudha is the eldest daughter of a farming family. She is married and lives in another village. After her father's death, her mother asks the Patwari to add her name and the names of all her children, including Sudha, in the land records. Even though Sudha lives elsewhere, she feels secure because she now has a legal share in the land. This shows that the 2005 law gives daughters equal rights in land and property. Now let us quickly revise what we learned in this chapter. We studied the rural administrative work done by the government. We learned that law and order is maintained by the police, and land records are maintained by the Patwari. Both these services are supervised by senior officers like the Tahsildar and the Superintendent of Police. Most importantly, public services must work according to rules and laws, so that people get justice and support. Now let us look at some common public services available in villages. In rural areas, people need many services for daily life. Some are provided by the government, and some are run by cooperative societies. For example, villages may have a milk society, a fair price shop, ration shop, a bank, and a police station. Farmers also get help from agricultural societies for seeds and fertilizers. Other important services include the post office, Anganwadi centers, government schools, and health centers or hospitals. All these services together help villagers live a safer and better life. Now let us understand rural public services through a survey of a fair price shop, also called a ration shop. In the survey, the shop was open and 3 people came with yellow ration cards to buy rice and sugar. However, kerosene was not available. This shop serves 2 villages, so many people depend on it. To use it, people need a ration card, usually made at the Tahsil office. The survey showed problems like less kerosene supply and poor quality rice. So it suggested improvements: better rice quality, regular kerosene supply, and keeping the shop open daily. This shows that public services are important and must work properly for everyone. Now let us quickly revise this chapter using these questions. The police maintain law and order, register cases, and investigate crimes. A Patwari measures land and maintains land records like the Khasra. A Tahsildar supervises Patwaris, hears land disputes, and collects land revenue. The chapter also shows that public services must work fairly for everyone. The SP is in charge of all police stations in a district. After the 2005 law, sons and daughters both get equal share in property. That's it for now. Thank you.